Hello, this is Greg at Shopworks, and today I'm going to be going over how to use the inventory management section of inventory in the OnSite system. So, to do so, what we're going to be doing is going into the inventory current level section of OnSite, and then viewing that current level to see what would be needed for sales, or to what is on order, or what is in production for any of the current levels in the inventory section of the program. Before beginning or before continuing watching this video, you should have a basic understanding of how the OnSite system works, be familiar with navigation in the OnSite system, and be familiar with the OnSite inventory section in general. To begin, we're going to open the OnSite system. Here you can see that I have this open, and I am currently in the inventory section, and I'm under current levels. And from here, we're going to go ahead and click on View All Current Levels. And you can see here there's quite a few items that we have on in the system with varying quantities and different parts. So what we're going to be going over is how to use the inventory management section of current levels. So to do so, we're going to click on Inventory Management. When we do this, you'll notice that every part now is opened up a bit, and there are 4 different areas of the current level itself. These are the inventory management sections that I'm referencing. And we're going to use one part in particular here. So what we'll do is we'll use this last part, 5180 darks and antique pink. And you'll see here I have a current level of 2. So I currently have 2 larges in stock. I have 1 on order, 1 in production, 1 needed for sales. And we'll go through each of these. And then overall, my reconciled total is that there is a total reconciled total of 3. Now, what is this reconciled total equal, or how do I get to this number? Well, right here where there's a little equation. A plus B plus C minus D equals the reconciled number. So that says the current level A plus our on order number, so that would be 3 there, plus our in production number, which is now add another 1 to our 3, which is 4, minus what is needed for an order, which is just 1, and that's how we get to our reconciled total of 3. Now, whenever we're using this inventory management section, it's important that you click on these little calculator update all quantities. This will go back through the system and check to see if any of these numbers have changed. So how do these numbers get into these boxes, and what do these boxes represent? And you'll notice that if I hover over each one, it kind of tells me just briefly what it means. So if we start with on order, this means that that there is an item in the system that is a blank product that has been purchased for inventory or is on a PO but has not yet been received. Our second one is in production. In production is basically that the item on the order is being produced and then being added to inventory. So if it's being added to inventory and being produced, then it's going to show up in our box for in production. And lastly, needed for sales. Needed for sales just indicates that there is an item that you have in inventory that needs to be pulled out of inventory. Once the item's been pulled, it'll be relieved from this section, needed for sales. So again, it's very important that we click on update, since people are going to be working in the system, constantly. So these numbers could change. Now, if I want to view what I have on order or in production or needed for sales, I can do so by actually viewing or getting into the current level by clicking on the view button in front of it. And you'll notice that when I do that, it'll take me into the details, where I can go to other tabs, but we're going to focus on the inventory management one. So you'll see here that I have, again, it gives us our little breakdown, and then down below it says, okay, on order. I have 1 on order, and here's the PO number that it's on, and I can go in and view this right from here, and the order number that this belongs to. And this is important if you want to see, again, what needs to be, or what is on order. And again, on order are items that are going to be added to inventory that are not going to be produced, that have yet to be received but are on a PO. I know that sounds like a lot of things, but it's actually pretty simple. So I can go in here, I can view the PO right from this screen. It's going to take me right into it. You can see here that it's showing me the purchase order that these items are on. The PO has not been received. And I can click on the order detail and get to the sales order. Now, how do I get an item to get to to get into the on order box? Meaning, where does this come from? So if I go in and I view this order, and I'm going to go back to our line item tab within the sales order. You'll notice I'm in sales now. I'm on the line items, and here's my line item. If I click on this description of the item, down here the behavior of the item is actually what dictates or determines what's going to show up in the inventory management section. So you can see here that it's an inventory sales order. The item is being purchased, it is not being produced, and it's being added to inventory. So if your toggle buttons are set this way, then the item will show up in your current level for on order. The next one we're going to be looking at is in production. So when I click on in production, again you'll see here that I have an order, and this is actually a pre-printed item. So you'll see here if I go into this order, it takes me again to the same type of screen. This is a different order. This is a preprint production order, and this is important because it's being produced. So what I'm going to do is actually buy this blank garment and then produce it and add it to inventory. So you'll notice here when I click on this description, our toggle buttons are a little bit different. Our behaviors are a little bit different. Under the product source, I'm saying that I want to either purchase this item or pull it, that I'm going to produce it, and then I'm going to add it to inventory. So that's what dictates in production for inventory management. Lastly, if I go back to inventory, we have needed for sales. And again, needed for sales is strictly saying what is out there that a customer has ordered that I need to pull off the shelf. So if I click on this blue, again, the blue arrow in front of the order, I'm in the needed for sales tab, still within the current level. I click on this. And again, I have a different order here. This one's for blank apparel for a specific customer. I click on the description. And you'll notice that under my product source, I have allow pull from inventory, which is important, and that I'm shipping this item. So by having those toggle buttons, allow pull and ship the item, that means it's for a customer that it's going to be going out the door. That's what dictates needed for sales. And again, it'll leave needed for sales once the item has been pulled out of inventory, which I could technically do right from here. I can go to inventory and deduct the item. Once I've done that, now if I go back to inventory, you'll notice my needed for sales is now gone. And that's because I actually pulled it from the sales order. So now needed for sales is gone. So now if I go back to, if I click on, you'll notice that if I go back now and I click on done, I'll be back in my listing and I can look through other items. Again, if I click on, I don't need to refresh it because my current level has now been reduced. And when I click on this, you'll notice what will happen is my reconciled total will change. And the reason it is because needed for sales is now gone. So according to the equation, A plus B plus C equals minus D equals our reconciled or number that would be left over in theory. So because there's nothing needed for sales, my current level has been reduced. There's no more needed for sales, so that's just my current level of one piece, my on order or my PO with one that's coming in, and my in production. Now in the second part of this video, we will actually go through using our order wizard, which is down here, to purchase items that are needed for reconciled totals that are negative. Thank you for watching this video.